The name's Allen. Barry Allen. This is a party for criminals. This Meister, he's up to something.
Fire in the hole.
Okay, what do we do?
Your vitals are good, Joe.
You know, in all the hubbub of saving your keisters, I never got to ask what the hell you were doing down there.
Hey, 1940s, no one says keisters.
Nash, if you would just tell us what you're looking for down there, we might be able to help you.
All right, tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, tunnels. Bring your whole fancy team.
Why should we do that?
Because I know how to save Barry Allen.
You must be the Monitor.
How do you know?
Because no human would actually wear something so ridiculous.
You ache for the world you lost, and I possess the power to restore it.
You can bring back my Earth.
The recovery of your universe will require a single task.
What kind of task?
You must betray Oliver Queen.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. This is going to be my video for The Flash Season 6, Episode 6 trailer, Crisis on Infinite Earth scenes from Arrow and Flash this week, and the new Batman news for Robert Pattinson's Batman. They just confirmed a couple big characters, so we'll break it all down. There's a whole bunch of Easter eggs in this, too, and teasers for Crisis on Infinite Earths. We're still doing that Flash ring giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave your best theory about Crisis on Infinite Earths on the video. I'll start with the trailer and the footage, then I'll talk about the Batman stuff, so just careful for spoilers for The Flash and Arrow this week if you have not seen those episodes. As you can see, they're doing a James Bond-style episode. They even have James Bond music playing under it, with Elongated Man teaming up with The Flash, which means that they'll probably tease more of the Sue Dibney storyline. Anytime one of the other side characters gets paired up with The Flash for the main storyline, they always get to push way deeper on whatever their arc is for the season, and for him, it's just the Sue Dibney arc. And as you can see, they're bringing back the Ultraviolet villain from episode 2, so there might be some more Easter eggs for Black Hole from the Flash Rebirth comics. But we start with Nash Wells saying that he has a plan to save Barry Allen. So the whole idea is that he seems like kind of a dirtbag at first, but they're slowly winning him over to the team. He doesn't want to have anything to do with the Council of Wells, but he wants that sweet, sweet Eternium honey that apparently the Monitor is either hoarding or has access to, because why else would he be trying to follow the Monitor? Because Joe mentions the Monitor and he says, you know, Marnovu, and he gets ready to give him this big explainer before Elongated Man comes and stops him. So it sounds like he might try to steal some Eternium from the Monitor, and there also might be something in his special secret stash that can help them save Barry. The whole thing with Eternium from the comic books is that it's actually shards from the Rock of Eternity, which is a huge Shazam and Black Adam Easter egg. I don't know how much they're going to get into that during the crossover, so maybe just some small Easter eggs for the Shazam characters, because I don't expect to see The Rock or Zachary Levi pop up in the crossover. The whole thing with the Arrow scenes is that Oliver is actually trying to build a weapon to destroy the Monitor if he turns on them, as the prophecy he got last week foretold. There was a book that belonged to the League of Assassins. Thousands of years ago, the Monitor visited someone from the League of Assassins, and they recorded in his journal that he thought that he might be responsible for the coming calamity, quote-unquote, Crisis on Infinite Earths. So Oliver is operating on the assumption that the Monitor might double-cross them at some point. He doesn't know anything about the Anti-Monitor yet. They haven't given him that explainer yet. So without any context, Oliver pushes forward, giving a sample to analyze of fabric that had been grazed by the antimatter wave that destroyed Earth 2 a couple weeks ago. Remember, the whole reason that Oliver was there was to steal dwarf star particles for something that the Monitor was building, and it might be the cosmic towers that appear during Crisis on Infinite Earths. He might be building a version of that. But you also have to consider that that prophecy might become self-fulfilling, and if Oliver's actions he takes to avoid the Monitor going crazy on them actually lead to the Monitor going crazy on them. Then you have that big twist scene with Black Canary being visited by someone who looks like the Monitor, saying that she could get Earth 2 back. It's in my power. All you have to do is betray Oliver Queen. He even looks like he kind of has a smirk on his face while he's telling her that, like he enjoys the idea that she might betray Oliver, which does not characteristically seem like the Marnovu Monitor that we've seen the last couple of years. So either the Monitor is lying to everyone about preventing Crisis on Infinite Earths and he's double-crossing them, Or this is not the Monitor, Mar Novu, and it's really the Anti-Monitor masquerading as him, or it's some other rogue Monitor that might wind up becoming the Anti-Monitor. If you've never read comic book Crisis on Infinite Earths, these Monitors are a race of beings that all look like this. They all have the weird chops and the jowls, they have the weird haircuts, but they do have subtle differences in their faces and hairstyles. The TV show might just be changing that in order to mislead us, so that you think that this is the Monitor, but surprise twist, it winds up being someone else. Remember, Martian Manhunter's brother is kind of evil, and he's a shapeshifter, so there is an evil shapeshifter that could be working with the Anti-Monitor to mislead the heroes. Also, fun fact, during Crisis on Infinite Earths, the actor who's playing the Monitor, this person here, is also playing the Anti-Monitor when he goes full comic book Anti-Monitor, looking like the Mobius from the comics, from the Antimatter universe. He just posted this behind-the-scenes picture a little while ago. Now that doesn't confirm that this is the Anti-Monitor, but in the comics, Harbinger, who's played by Lila on the TV show, gets mind-controlled by the Anti-Monitor and is forced to kill the Monitor, so Superman and all the heroes that are left are forced to find a way to fight the Anti-Monitor by themselves without the Monitor's help. But in the comics, the Monitor and the Anti-Monitor are two completely different characters. There's nobody masquerading as the Anti-Monitor. He always looked like this, with the crazy face. But early theory, if this isn't a shapeshifter, maybe Oliver's antimatter weapon gets used on the Anti-Monitor, and instead of killing him, it supercharges him and makes his face look like this. But it still doesn't explain what happens to the Monitor, because in all these big fight scenes, I have not seen the Monitor charging the field with them. It's just the heroes versus the Anti-Monitor, so either at some point they wind up killing him off like they did in the comics, or he winds up turning into the Anti-Monitor, which would be a big twist. But moving into Batman news, so the big news about the Batman movie is that Andy Serkis is being locked down as their new Alfred. I was super surprised when I saw this. Interesting choice, not somebody who I would have expected for that role. I would have expected him for a role that required more prosthetics, like the Penguin or something else, or one of the villains from his Rogues Gallery. But I do think that he can do a great job with the character, because he has done a lot more darker, noirish movies and television shows, and that seems like it's going to be the tone of the new Batman film. The other thing they just announced is probably even bigger. They just announced that Colin Farrell is being locked down as their new Oswald Cobblepot Penguin, which again is not someone I would have ever thought of for that role. Normally when you think of Colin Farrell, you think of him maybe as a Harvey Dent Two-Face, but there's no mention of what he would look like and if they'd use any prosthetics or motion capture to modify his face to give him more of a comic book Penguin look, so I have no idea what he's actually going to look like as that character. But currently, right now, they have Robert Pattinson as the Batman, Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon, not Detective Gordon. Apparently, he's supposed to be Commissioner Gordon when this story begins, and they're doing the Batman the Animated Series thing, where all of the villains like Two-Face, Riddler, Penguin are already operating in Gotham City when the story begins. They're not going to start with their origin stories and build them up. You'll already see Penguin being full Penguin and Riddler being full Riddler when the story begins. They just announced Zoe Kravitz as their Selina Kyle Catwoman, and then obviously Paul Dano as their Edward Nashton Riddler. He's just the original version of the comic book Riddler. I've already done a video about that, so I'll link it at the end of this. They're still looking for their Harvey Dent Two-Face. He will be in the movie, and they'll probably announce that before the end of the year. There will be other minor characters they announce after they start shooting. They usually don't cast those minor roles till right before they need them to shoot those scenes. But they will confirm all the mains really soon, and after that give us the first look at Robert Pattinson's new Batman costume. The costume designer that they got is the one that did the original Blade movie. He's done Star Wars and the new Star Trek movies, a whole bunch of other stuff, so he's pretty solid. He'll probably make a pretty cool Batman costume. And given that it's more of a detective, thriller, noir story, I'm expecting the new Batman suit to be way more toned down and less armor looking than the last few versions from, say, Christian Bale's Dark Knight Batman and Ben Affleck's Batsuit. Even though he did have a very cloth-looking version of the suit, his version of Batman was just way more hulking and giant than the Robert Pattinson version is going to be. I would say his new Batsuit is going to be even less armor-looking than Michael Keaton's Batman suits. I'd be totally cool if they wanted to go with the classic blue and gray, but I think that they'll probably stick with black. Post all your theories in the comments below. What do you think that Robert Pattinson's new Batman suit is going to look like? Which version are they going to be mostly inspired by? Congratulations, Tevye Smolka, you're the giveaway winner from my last Big Flash video. Please email me on the About page of my channel so I can get your details. Everyone, click here for the brand new Rick and Morty Season 4 trailer, and click here for that new Batman Riddler video. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.